central ghetto.
Right, it's first thing Sunday morning, back at it, flattening this down again. I should have said probably on the last vlog, which hasn't even gone live yet actually, it's that early, that we are just doing a dry mix on here because it's only somewhat temporary. In the next year or two we're going to completely redevelop the garden. So yeah, we're doing a dry mix, laying it all the way down here, trying to flatten this ground as much as possible now using the sledgehammer. So I'm getting my Triple H on. First thing on a Sunday morning. But yeah, I'll be showing you guys the updates throughout, and as I say, it's going to be a massive week that you guys are going to see on this vlog. As I say, we're going to hopefully get these slabs done today, then the plaster is in tomorrow morning, and the room's really going to take shape. Hopefully by the end of this vlog everything will be done that needs to be done, and it will just be a case of me getting it painted to get it finished, ready for the carpet people. So yeah, let's go. First slab is in place, 4 inches either side for what we're going to put white stones there, which helps with draining and neatening it all up a bit. But yeah, the first one's the one we're going to use as the barometer, so to speak, for the rest. So it's going to run all the way down the side of the conservatory. We're just going to run a couple here, and then the rest will be, well, you'll see when we get to it. But yeah, it's basically just to create a pathway to and from the 3.0, so we're not going to be taking dirty shoes and feet in there in the winter. Right, the first two are down, going to step out onto. I just wanted to film this to show you how exact the measurements were where we cut the turf. I'll take that. Get in there. I'll tell you what, guys, I've had enough of this already. I'm trying to beat the sun. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Right, so I think I mentioned on a previous vlog that I'm going to be moving the light across. I decided to move it now rather than spend the next 20 years annoyed by it. So we've shifted the outside light from there to there. I just think it just looks better closer to the door. It was annoying me before. So yeah, halfway through another job. Got the electrician here now, just doing the final bits before plastering tomorrow. And we are cracking on with the slabbing, playing a giant game of Tetris, almost there. So we've finally got all the slabs down that we're putting to the door. What I'm doing now is just creating a little ramp. So just using a bit of a wet mix, just create a bit of a ramp to join the existing path up to this one. And yeah, just have a nice, clean, easy access then to that. We are going to also do something along here. We've got these paving slabs here to do that, and some white stones will be going in. Whether or not we'll get to that today largely depends on this sun, because yeah, it's not the best day to be doing this kind of work. But yeah, really happy with it, looks brilliant. Path's done and the little ramp that we built is drying. What I've decided to do, whilst we've got some wet mix, is, if you remember previously where I had the gym area and I dug it all out and I put these stones in it to stop the weeds from coming, and whilst we've got the wet mix I've decided to just fill it in with this because weeds were already coming through. So we're going to fill this area and then I'll paint it, put the white in, take advantage of having the wet mix here. Okay, so we have managed to put some of the wet mix in there, and as I say, I'll paint that when I paint the floor. Just checked and it says it's 33 degrees, but it feels about 36. For any American viewers watching, I think that's about 9,000 Fahrenheit. Given the heat, the time, the exhausted levels, oh man, I think we're going to call it a day. Really happy that we've got this path done. And we're probably going to wait now till next weekend when I've got some help again, and then we're going to get these border slabs here running down with the white stones that are going to go all the way around the perimeter. Obviously this needs to be drying for a good 4 days or so. So yeah, really happy with that. Plaster is in tomorrow, so next time I see you guys, hopefully, well, I've got to clear this room. Once I've cleared this room, I'm resting. I'll say rested, I'm editing Wednesday's video, which by now you guys will have already seen, so I can do a little plug. Please, please, please get involved. I'm trying to raise money for Alzheimer's Research UK. It's an amazing cause. If for whatever reason you haven't watched Wednesday's video and you're watching this, please get involved. There's a link to I think it's a Just Giving page, and not only that, but you can have your name written on the Retro Getter 3.0 floorboards, which will be immortalised forever. So yeah, appreciate everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace. Beautiful. Hi everybody, it's been a couple of days since the last update, largely due to the weather, but also because, well, I'm working on something quite special with the plasterer, so I've been waiting a couple of days for the parts to arrive. Let me just flip the camera around for you. So the thermal insulated plasterboards arrived, so this is what's going to be going across the ceiling. He's due to start work tomorrow, and as I say, that's because we've had a bit of a plan. All the pieces have now arrived, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to hold the surprise. I think he's going to be installing that first tomorrow. It's something very special. It's going to be like the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, if you like, of what we're doing here in the Retro Getter 3.0. So hopefully we'll be able to unveil that tomorrow. But yeah, we've had somebody round from the building company that have helped us out. We basically had all the guttering and fascias finished off, so you can see the guttering's up. Fascia's all nice and neat now, and that's the same at the front of the property. I've been told that by the end of the week, pretty much all the snags will be done, so I'm getting someone to lay these slabs here. I'm getting a couple of fence panels put in just to plug the gap between the old fence and where the 3.0 now sits. So yeah, as I say, really coming together. Plaster is starting tomorrow, should be here 4 or 5 days. And the path is all nice. As I say, it's very wet out here, but yeah, path's looking good. The little ramp, it's the first time I've used the ramp. It's definitely dry. So yeah, it just gives us nice access. And once the weather's better, we are going to finish off down alongside the rest of the room. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is. As I say, all the guttering's been finished off. The little, you know, cover pieces like that, just to neaten it all up. And the pipe itself's been put in. So yeah, all the little bits and bobs. I don't know if I showed you, but the outside light's been moved. The electrician will be coming to fit the lights very soon. Yeah, and that's it, guys. Not been much happening for the last couple of days, but we are all set for the big changes, which should be starting tomorrow morning. I'll see you all then. Jobs that I need to be cracking on with whilst I'm waiting for the plasterer is this. So all that is from Homebase, it was on offer. Instead of 180, I think it was 140. If it has gone back up to 180, I think if you're a first-time user on their website, you can get, I think it's 20% off. It makes it the same price anyway, if my maths are correct. So basically, this is like a little storage shed. It will do for now. Hopefully, this isn't too difficult. Yeah, I don't think Hodgie Jr. is going to be helping. Wish me luck. So this flat pack's never quite as easy as you think it's going to be, is it? So it's now the next day. I didn't get this finished, as you can see. It got to a point where it was a bit of a two-man job. It's not a big job, we'll get to it soon. However, look what we've done. So we put in all of the border slabs and put in nice white stones. I think it just gives it a nice finish. There's a bit of muck on the wall now, which I'll have to clean or repaint. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's tied in really nicely with all the slabs. Obviously these stones are going to carry on all the way around as well. So yeah, just finishing touches stage now, and we really are getting there. I think we probably need a bit more topsoil just to level off the rest of the turf. I've got a chap coming to put the fencing in. Yeah, we're pretty much there. Plasterer's here as we speak, so I will go in and change the radio so I don't get copyright, and then I'll... Right, so my plasterer extraordinaire, Matt, is here.
Hello.
Here he is. He's done a lot of work for me inside the house. Top bloke. And as you can see, made light work of this. So we've got this really thick insulated board that I've showed you guys, the insulated plaster board. And as you can see, this is what's going on the ceiling, or is becoming the ceiling. Yeah, and we're almost done with that now. And then we're going to be running on the walls this stuff here, which is a soundproof board, which is great because it's still very thin, so I'm not losing any width, which, you know, I can't afford to lose. That sentence sounds very wrong. Obviously I don't want to lose any width in the room, so thankfully the soundproof board, whilst more expensive, is not any thicker, so that's perfect. And it just means I can, you know, be more contained in here and not have to worry about how much noise I'm making and stuff. So yeah, we're cooking on gas now, guys. I'll be showing you a further update this evening once Matt's finished for the day. Say bye, Matt.
See you later.
Okay, so all the plasterboards are now in, and all of the wires for the spotlights have been measured equidistantly and put in. I don't know if I've mentioned to you guys before, but I'm having the 6 spotlights run on 2 different dimmer switches. So the first 3 will be done on one, and then the second 3 on the other. The reason being is I'm not really a fan of big light, so primarily it'll just be the back end. These 3 will be on a dimmer, and this 3 normally will be off because that's where the TV is going to go. So yeah, the back 3 will run on a dimmer. I'll probably just have it as a low light, like a lamp effect, but I'm going to have that many lights. I've actually very recently picked up an amazing new store display light, which I'll be displaying on my next pickups video. So yeah, keep it locked to the Retro Ghetto for that one. But yeah, definitely getting there. Yeah, buddy. Everybody, it's another day. Matt the Master is back at work. And as you can see, he's been working very, very hard. I'm delighted to see this because now I'm really getting a feel for the room. I know I say that every day, but yeah, we've got the soundproof boards are pretty much all up now. It's just this end of the room.
Yeah, just that one wall now.
Just that one wall. Let's get the soundproofing boards in.
And reveals to go out as well.
I don't know if it's time to reveal the cherry on the cake I've been talking about. The icing on top of this build. Basically, guys, I'm going to put some footage for you now over the top so you can see it. But there's like, obviously, we all know about these LED strips you can buy. They're relatively cheap. I have had them in all my game room iterations, but I want to take that to the next level. And what you can do now is buy these kind of like a recess. What would you call it, Matt?
Yeah, it's just a recessed light strip trim.
Light strip trim. So what you do is these get put into the plasterboard itself. So that'll be sort of buried in, sunk in. Yeah, that's the correct terminology. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Boarding, so that's level with the boarding, and that'll drop straight back.
So ultimately, the look we'll have is this will sit flush with the board when it's plastered. The lights go in here, and then you have like a clear or like an opaque white that sits here. So the effect that you get is a continuous white strip. As I say, it will sit flush. And what I'm doing is I'm having it around the whole perimeter, the top of the wall, the bottom of the ceiling. So it's going to run across the whole of the games room, and it's going to be this nice continuous white light. Because what you sometimes get with those LED strips is you can see each individual bulb, and it kind of annoys me somewhat. This is just like a cleaner, more updated way of doing it. This is the opaque strip that sits on top of that casing. Yes, it's going to look fantastic. I've looked at a few YouTube videos, sorry, and it does look amazing, the finished product. And yeah, I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like. As I say, it's just that little cherry on the cake, the icing on top. This is what's delayed us by a few days because I was waiting for those like recessed parts there to arrive. But yeah, we're getting to that point soon where they're going to be getting installed by Matt the Master. So yeah, Matt, do you want to just talk us through quickly what we're going to have to do in this corner here, just in case anybody's watching that's thinking about doing this sort of thing themselves?
When we put them in, we've got a set square here, so that shows at this point, this bottom point here, that shows where the plaster is going to end from the ceiling down. So I need to now mark across that set there, this little mullion just on here.
Oh, is it a mullion?
Yeah, we call that a little ridge.
Nice,
ridge so you understand what it is. And then that ridge wants to be sitting just 2 mil below that line to allow for the plaster.
So 2 mil for the plaster.
To cover
so that's the allowance, yeah?
The allowance for the line. So we had to measure out. So once we've got that line, we can bed that just 2 mil under that line.
Yeah.
4 round, and we'll be doing that through the whole set.
And the reason it's got to be done to that precision is because I've sort of given Matt the brief that I want it exactly at the very top of the wall. Not the bottom of the ceiling, the top of the wall. So it's going to sort of go exactly like that. And as I say, it will be flushed with the plaster.
So it's going to be the corner angle, that is. So the top of the light will actually be the corner of the whole set.
Yep. Fantastic. I'm so excited about this. I think a lot of, it's not just me, I know a lot of people get excited about lights. It's almost like finishing touches. I've got a thing for lights and LEDs. As I say, we've got the 6 spotlights going in here, but they'll rarely get used. the amount of sort of lights and stuff I'm going to have in here anyway. Sort of store display lights and kiosks and arcade machines and whatnot, but this will be my primary usage of light. But not only that, we're going to future-proof it, because I tried to buy the more expensive LED strips, I tried to buy the highest rated ones, but none of them are perfect. You do sometimes get a dead LED, or the LED doesn't quite change colour as you want it to. So Matt's designed this sort of system whereby, I'll let you explain it, yeah.
So socket here, and it's a plasterboard box, so it can be taken out and put back in as and when. So what we're going to be doing, because we've got thermal boarding behind, we're going to cut a section out to drop the transformer behind there, so you can take the socket face off to get to the transformer and rechange transformer. Transformer goes. The cable's going to be running up the top end of the wall through a conduit. So, because the LED is going to run there, both feeds are going to go through the back strip, straight down the conduit and to the socket feed. So if the lights ever go, there's going to be 10 metre run round that way and 10 metre run round that way. So both cables start and lead from here. So if the LEDs go, we'll be able to take the LEDs out, pull the cable out, disconnect it from transformer, and then the cable will slide out, and we're going to put a conduit in, just so we can feed the cable back in. It's going to hit the conduit and it's going to lead back down to the transformer set. So for the future, if there's any issues, they can all be resolved without any damages.
Which I knew was imperative, because as I say, no LEDs are perfect. It's not a cheap process to buy all of these. We had to buy like, what, 20 metres worth?
20 metres, yeah.
It's not cheap to buy all of them, and the lights, and obviously Matt's time. You know, it's not a cheap or easy process to get what we want. So I had to make sure it was future-proofed. So if the LEDs do fail, they inevitably will over time. It's relatively simple now to just switch them out, get some other ones. I've also ensured that the LEDs that I purchased have got like an app function, so I can use my phone to sit here and change the colours. I think you can also have it like where they run, so you can have like patterns running across the room. So it's really going to give it that nice arcade feel. It's something I'm very excited about, and yeah, can't wait to share with you guys what it will look like once it's done. Right, one more thing, guys. A sort of standard regulation the electricians told me is that you want 480. So as you can see, Matt's got them bang on with the plug sockets. But what I would say to you is, remember, if you're doing anything like this, it's your project. You do it as you want to do it. Electricians and everything, they will have their set ways, but things like that you can move around. Obviously, I just want the plug sockets to be uniform, so 480 is absolutely fine for me. But the reason I say that about being able to do what you want to do is I've actually had my switches a little bit higher. I'm 6'1", and I'd rather have them here than sort of down here where they would be. So it's just worth bearing in mind, whilst some things are regulation for a reason in terms of safety, some things are just done the way that they're done. And the reason why I say all that to you is because there was also a standard height for the switches, but I've decided to go custom and go a little bit higher. The reason being is I'm 6'1", so I'm slightly taller than your average, and it just feels more comfortable for me to have it there. So whilst any electrician or anything will give you the sort of standard measurements, obviously it's your build, feel free to do it as you want, whatever works for you. And for me, it just worked out to just have it a little bit higher. Matt's cracking on with a plasterboard. I'm prepping this area, so I've been out cleaning it, dug a bit more out. I'm going to put some more weed killer in, just so I can maintain this sort of stones right the way across. So yeah, I'm just prepping this area now. A bit more paint and a bit further down. And yeah, we'll get some stones in, it's going to look lovely. Right, water boy.
Dad, here you are, but it's really burning up. It's really feeling warm in my hand.
Thanks, mate. Right, I'm ready and prepped, and we're going to get painting again. It's a couple of hours since last filmed something. I finished all this. I've also done a lot more of the property. Obviously we're going to have to touch up certain bits of the white. That's where we were jet washing when we did the slabs. But yeah, this has all been done now, ready for the stones. I think it's going to really set it off nice. Like I say, it's just finishing touches time. I'm really happy with how it's coming together. The white stones will just cap all this off. This is all getting sort of flattened with some topsoil and grass going on it, so it'll be leveled out. Yeah, I'm delighted with this. It just, you know, I mean, take a shot every time I say it, but it feels like a room now, right? And really can get a scope for how much room we've got to play with. Yeah, just very happy. As you know, as you've seen from the little tutorials, Matt is a very knowledgeable chap. He's very good. He's done a lot of work for me. He's become a good friend. I've had a lot of work done in the interior of the house from him. And he was saying how well the builders had done. He said every wall was perfectly straight. He said it was so easy for him, which is unusual on a job. Everything had been done with the highest spec. You know, there's not been any expense spared in terms of materials used. We've used the most expensive ceiling plasterboard. We've used the most expensive plasterboard for the walls, the soundproofing one. Yeah, everything's been bang on. He said they use like the bigger timbers than what sometimes people use. And yeah, I'm very happy. It's nice to hear things like that, confirmation of what I already thought. But obviously you put your trust in builders, and if you're not an expert like me, to some extent, you have to trust what they tell you. So yeah, very happy to hear all that. There probably won't be a vlog this week, as you guys will know now. You know it's the following week, simply because I don't want to show you half a job. I don't want to get to this point and tell you about those electric lights and stuff like that. It's Saturday afternoon now, verge on evening. I'm going to watch Arsenal beat Bournemouth. That could come back on me so hard, right? If we lose that game, I'm going to have to edit this out. But yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to put, as I say, I showed you all the lights and everything, and I don't want to sort of show you all that and then not then show you the finished product and all this plastered. I think we'll be better off waiting until next week. But yeah, I'm going to go and look at some editing now, see how much footage we've got, make a final decision then. But yeah, I can't wait to show you guys this room fully plastered with all those LEDs on it. We're not far away. We are 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks from being done, 3 weeks to completion. And as I've said a few times before, that's simply because you have to wait 2 weeks once it's plastered to let it dry. Then you do a half water, half paint coat. Then you have to wait a week, and then you can paint it properly. Obviously all the skirting boards will be going in. The carpet's going 3 weeks on Monday. So that is completion date. That's when it's all finished. We're on the home straight. Very, very happy. I'll see you guys real soon. Right guys, it's another day. Sunday morning, the day that this vlog would have gone out. I think I probably said yesterday, I'm going to put you guys out a 2-week vlog so you can see the whole process of the LED lights that are being sunk into the plasterboard. Matt was here bright and early.
Oh yes.
We're waking up the neighbours this morning. Hey, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs, right? But yeah, here we go. So this is the start of the process. So you can see where these are going in. This is going to be exactly flush with the ceiling. So any gaps that you see in, that's the allowance for plaster, which is going to go on. Very, very happy. And you can really start to get a feel now for how it's going to look once you've got that continuous white or whatever colour you wish to use strip of light. I think it's going to really accentuate the room. And yeah, I know it's took quite a lot of planning. There's a lot of measuring and angle work to be done here, but yeah, I think the end result's going to be well worth it. I think, as Matt said yesterday, it helps that the ceilings are perfectly straight and the walls are straight.
Oh yes.
But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as we go through. Okay, so all of this is dry from yesterday. The weed spray's all in, so it's time to do the fun bit now, which is filling it all up with the white stones. Try and do it one-handed. It's not going well. Here we go. Let's make a right mess. Things I do for you guys. That job is partially done. I don't have quite enough to finish it, just wrap right around as well, so I'm going to have to get a few more bags. 3.5 bags didn't go very far. It's because I've done it quite deep. All the way across, which is beneficial, and it helps to keep the weeds at bay even more, even though, you know, death, taxes, Thanos and weeds are all inevitable. You do your best you can do to try and keep them at bay. But yeah, really happy with how it's looking. I say these finishing touches are a satisfying part of the build. I'm going to have to get a few more bags to get it properly done. We're on the opposing side of the Retro Go 3.0, and this is the sort of millimetre perfectness, if that's a word, that we're after. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like. As I say, you won't see anything other than this piece once it's all done and plastered. This is the level of accuracy that we're after. Millimetre perfect. Just to get, like I say, the thing, I'm very much a straight line and simplistic person, and often straight lines and simplicity is the hardest thing to do right, because there's no room for error. As you can see, there's no error. And that's all we want. Respect, Matt.
No worries.
In what must be at least a year since I pulled him out of a skip, he's now got himself a forever home. Yeah, buddy. Mate, that is satisfying. And again, it's been made a lot easier by the fact the builders did a good job and the walls are all perfectly straight.
Massively, massively.
So it's just that wall to do now. And again, on this corner, guys, this is a level it's got to be, because as I keep saying, when it's lights, there's no room for error. It's going to draw your eye to it. It'll just piss me off for the next 20 years. But you can see where this is. It's going to sit exactly, once it's plastered, on that. The opaque sheet of plastic will then cover up these two metal strips either side, and it'll be exactly flush. So yeah, that's the level it's got to be at. Thank you, Matt.
Not a problem.
Right, we are now complete. Runs right the way across. Matt's just filling in the little corner there. So that's it. Also got the electrician in, so the lights are up. Hard at work. Just putting in the two plug sockets, Ethernet. And we've got the outside light, if I can get to it. Yeah, there we go. All hands on deck. Right everybody, it's a new day and Matt's been cracking on, so he's done all the reveals. All the reveals are in, just getting ready for plastering really. So scrimp tape has begun, in the process of getting all that done. And again, all the reveals, and we have used the, is this the insulated plaster to use? That's thermal boarding as well, obviously, just to make sure that every part is insulated thoroughly. So yeah, getting ready for plastering starts tomorrow. Today, plastering today.
Ceiling's going up.
It's been done today. I think I might have highlighted it on a previous video, but it's imperative that we've got easy access to switch out the LED strips. They're not overly reliable. They certainly won't last forever. So what I want to be able to do is tear them out and replace them. So I'll let Matt talk you through exactly what he's done.
So we've cored a hole out in this metal trim. Both LEDs will start feeding from here and going outwards. So the cable's going to start dropping down that void, but we've put some white conduit straight in. So as soon as we start feeding the cable will shoot out where the socket is. Because we've got plasterboard sockets, they can be clicked out, get the cable. Also they're running transformers, so we've got a setback for some transformers also. So that'll allow us to be able to change all the lights without damaging any plaster or anything.
Perfect. Okay guys, so the plastering has begun. Me and Matt spoke about this day for, I don't know, over a year now. That one day he'll be coming in and plastering my dream room for me, and it's happening. Alright, so here's the finished product, as we said, like glass. This is why I've used matte throughout my property and in here. Flawless. Makes my job a lot easier when it comes to paint. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for the full room, which will be plastered. Guys, it's another day. Matt's been here since what, 7:30 was you here?
7 o'clock this morning.
7 o'clock this morning. We're almost there, look. Just got to do a bit of floating, second coat on a few of these walls. But yeah, I'm definitely not gonna say it feels like a room. But yeah, feels like a room. I am buzzing. The plastering's done, and weirdly it seems bigger. It's hard to explain, obviously you're not here, but it feels taller. I mean, honestly, you should see the size of the smile on my face, guys. I've been cleaning the floor, because Matt did clean up after himself, but you know, he's a tradesman, innit? So, you know, you can only expect so much. So yeah, I've been cleaning up the floor. Well, Matt has done an amazing job. But now we're gonna get the LEDs in. So this is part of the process that I wanted to show and share with you guys so we can go through it. So, you know, Matt, do your thing, mate.
Right, so from the existing hole that we've made, we've got trunking down the bottom here.
Yeah.
That's going to lead into. So
So you just gonna keep feeding that down, then it's
Feeding
gonna come
that
out
down.
as a trunk, and there it is.
There we go. And that's the tassel where you wire it up to your transformer.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And then we just leave that hanging for a minute.
Yeah.
Get the transformer put in.
And it was that bit you got the screwdriver you said not to get on camera, yeah?
Yes.
Oh dear. Okay, so the secondary one has now been fed as well. So now we're in a position where we've got 2 individual 10-metre strips coming out the hole, and then we're going to obviously take them and run them separate ways around the perimeter of the room. So next time you see me, actually,
This is a transformer setup now. This is what the LEDs run off. This is what modulates the lighting and the flashing and colour change and all that as well.
and because it runs on a sensor, there's also this on these ones. It comes on an app that you can do with your phone, but obviously it comes in a sensor. So we're going to put the sensor right behind the switch, so that it should still be able to pick it up. So that's the sensor there.
And these are as simple as just plug straight in, and that's connected. Connected. So them two are in, and that will splice off to your sensor.
So we've now got both LED strips running, because obviously they're going to run in different directions across the room. The 2 sets of 10-metre LED strips, all hooked up behind there. So now is the moment of truth. Let's hope they turn on. Hey! I was worried for a second. 10-metre LED strip has been connected, and it's running nicely all the way. I think it ends roughly around there, but obviously the trick to it is use one of your rolls to this side from the hole, and then the second one, obviously you carry on from where this one ends, and then anything that's left over, so any surplus, once we get back to the hole, will then be just shoved back down into the wall. But yeah, I can't wait to test these out once it's got the covers on them, once it's a bit darker outside. Also, because this is obviously soundproof boards, and now all the, what are these called, Matt?
Thermal boarding.
No, these bits.
Oh, reveals.
Reveals, that's the word I was looking for. Now the reveals and everything have done, so it's pretty much airtight, all done with the soundproof boards. I want to just go outside and ask Matt to shout as loud as he can, just to sort of see how soundproofed we are. But yeah, might just turn it into a music studio. So it's in, as you can see. Bear in mind, this isn't the full effect, because obviously it's going to have one of these sheets on it, which will give it that consistent solid light look as opposed to the individual bulbs. But I mean, you can just see how perfect the job is. The lines are all bang on, it's absolutely straight. I couldn't ask for anything better. Proper job. Okay, so we've put the first bit of casing on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not entirely happy. There's a little bit more of a bleed than I wanted. I wanted this to look more of a continuous, just one-way strip. It's actually looking worse on camera than it does in reality. The further I come back, the more like reality it is. But I don't know, it's just not perfect for me. You can still see, like I said, the closer I get, the worse it looks. It doesn't look that bad in reality, but I don't want these gaps in between the LEDs. That's the whole reason why I bought these strips and did it this way, for it to look like one continuous light. So I think the best thing to do, Matt's come up with a good idea, just buy another set of LEDs. And then what we'll do is we'll drop this one down and then have another one running above it, but the lights will sit in between these lights. So this will get dropped down a bit, a new one will sit above, and every time there's a gap, we'll just space it so there's a new LED in between. That should hopefully alleviate the gap, because as you can see, each one does fill this top to bottom. So theoretically, if we have another little LED bulb in these gaps, that should make it continuous. If anything, it can only look better and it can only look brighter. So for the sake of spending, what, another 25, 27 quid, whatever it was, yeah, I think we're gonna order another set. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. So you guys, it's only been about half an hour since I last recorded, but the light's starting to fade already, and yeah, man, it's really difficult to show on camera. And obviously I've spoke about the fact I'm gonna add more LEDs to get an even better effect, but God, it looks so cool. Like I say, it really won't film on camera, sadly, but Man, it looks good. It looks so good where the whole room has just got it. Hey guys, another day. The plaster's drying, and I've just had the lads out that basically come round and do all the finishing touches. And yeah, so what they've done is they've lowered all my lawn out for me, put a load of grass seed down, and as you can see, they've put that bit of a fence panel there to plug the gap that we had over on that side. And as we go through, as we can see, we're getting drier in here. They've also put the fence there to plug that gap and put the slabs down for me. This slab was already a bit raised up, so ignore that one. But yeah, done a great job, really good lads. Come round, nothing was too much trouble for them. Any little job that needed doing, they've done. So yeah, brilliant service, proper job. But yeah, where we're at is Matt, the plasterer, as you guys know now, is coming back. Not tomorrow, the day after. We're going to do the skirting boards. We are going to go around all of this metal trim, cleaning off the top. So like quick sanding it down so that things sit on it properly. We're going to drop all of these lights down because the other set of LEDs is arriving today. So we're going to run 2, as I said yesterday. So we've got the lights sort of alternating so we get a more fuller image. But yeah, we're cooking on gas. We are cooking on gas. He's going to advise how long I should wait before I get the first half paint coat on here. And yeah, right, so we've got a lot going on recently. It's been non-stop with the cave, and yeah, today we've had a little break from it all, so I'll share with you my view. Satnav said there was a CEX here somewhere. Quick break before the work resumes this afternoon. I know what you're trying to do. That is the mountain I was just on top of. Is it a mountain? Seems like I'm over-egging it a bit. Hill? No, hill's not doing it justice. That thing over there. Morning everybody, it's just gone 7 AM. I think last time you saw me I was up a mountain. Yesterday afternoon was a bit of a madness, it wasn't a great day. I basically was painting the whole house. I'm trying to show you, the camera's not basically uncovered in paint. You know what it's like, because I painted this room and then I painted a little bit under the conservatory, I've ended up pretty much doing the whole house. So I was up a ladder painting the whole property till, yeah, pretty late last night. But yeah, it was a bad day. A couple of bad bits of news, a couple of hurdles to overcome basically. So the first thing, we ran into an issue with these LEDs. I knew somewhere down the line this was going to cause an issue because it's relatively new technology and we're kind of learning as we're going along. But part of the pun, I believe, sort of between my electrician and my plasterer, the wires got crossed. We thought we'd be able to just cut that plug, but the transformer and a few other bits of information are in that plug, so we can't necessarily just cut it. So I think what we're going to have to do is maybe look at getting some new LEDs, unless we can get a transformer. I'm confident there's a workaround with this, but we might have to strip the LEDs. But yeah, everyone's going to get their heads together today. Hopefully we'll get that sorted out. Right, on to bigger problems. My electrician was here till, I think it was about 10:30 last night. He wanted to get this done. So as you can see, the spotlights are in. I mean, firstly, before I dwell too much on the bad news, it's looking great, right? Now we're seeing the plaster drying. Yeah, we put the electricity box in up here. He wanted to get it done last night, but herein lies the big issue. So every time he kept turning the power on, all the stuff in the house kept tripping, everything kept turning off, my TV kept turning off, etc. So he started investigating, and he said basically the information going from the electricity going from the house to this is fine, so that's not a problem. But there's an issue in here, which is very bad news, because what we've now got to do is localize the exact problem. So he's got a machine which will be able to relatively localize where he is, but we're probably going to have to cut into this fresh plaster. Yeah, there's going to be, it's a long pain in the arse job to try and fix it. We've got to find it, and then, as I say, probably cut into this beautiful plasterwork. So yeah, it wasn't the best day. You know, it's been very full on. Everyone's doing very late nights, including myself. You know, very, very busy at the minute, very busy. So, you know, getting bad news like that when you're already pretty much sleep deprived even. Yeah, it's not the best, But you know, it's a new day. I'm halfway through my cup of tea. By the time I finish it, the world will feel a bit better. Trying to concentrate on the positives, you know, I should be buzzing because look how good it's looking. I'm getting there, and plasterers coming in today to put skirting boards in and things like that. There's a lot to celebrate, but I'll be a lot happier to celebrate it once we get these problems fixed. So I've got the electrician and plasterer coming in today. Hopefully we'll get our heads together. We'll get these issues resolved, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Plaster extraordinaire Matt's here. Skirting boards are going on. Again, it makes a nice easy job because a nice straight wall straight into the existing timbers. I've gone for a very basic, very thin skirting board. The most basic one you can get. I was looking at one that had a line in it and more elaborate ones, but I'm very much a plain, simple guy, straight lines, and I also wanted the thinnest one possible because there's going to be a lot of cabinets, a lot of kiosks, a lot of things that are going to sit against the wall, so I wanted one that really doesn't, you know, have too much of a depth to it. So yeah, once we've got the skirting boards on, we've got a bit of a plan for the LED issue that we spoke about, and then once the electrician arrives, we're going to tackle the electricity issue. But yeah, we're cracking on. Right, skirting boards are in and done. Take two without the Sparky's arse on shot. Right, so the skirting board's all done. I'm all discombobulated now. Skirting board's done. Everyone's here, all hands on deck. We think we've isolated issue we had with the electric and also with this LED strip. So yeah, getting there. Right guys, some much needed good news. Firstly, Matt's just starting to cut all of the casings. So it looks bang on, look at that. And then he's running like a trim of cork on the top, just so that the ceiling exactly meets it flush. So once it's painted, you won't even be able to see where the line of the light starts and the ceiling ends, really. The good news is that the electric's been done. The board's over there. It's been done. We figured out the fault. It was just a small wiring fault somewhere along the way. All sorted out, so we've now got electricity in here. The lights are all good. So the next thing for us to do once we've finished with all the installation of the LEDs is to figure this out and what we're going to do with that switch. As I say, we have got this transformer, thank you Matthew, that we're going to pop in. So yeah, hopefully that'll be all my problems solved. All the skirting boards are pretty much done. They just need, like, you know, sanding down and whatnot. As I said earlier, I went for the plain skirting board. I think it was the right thing to do. Just wanted a basic skirting board that didn't have a lot of depth. So yeah, it's bang on for what I wanted. All the electrics are sorted out. So everything's been done. The electric box is put there, so I think that's pretty much like the best out of the way location. It'll be covered up by something anyway. It's probably gonna be a kiosk or a life-size figure or something going in that corner. So yeah, that's all done. The electrics are up and running. So I've got two dimmer switches. As I said to you guys before, I've split it to the back end of the room. So that's the far ones and then the near ones, and they can both be dimmed as well. So yeah, that's that. And the pièce de résistance, almost finished, not quite, but so this fuse spur here, what you might notice is, I mean, it's going to be tidied up, but there's a little hole underneath for the sensor, so it can still read this. So if I point that at that, there we go. I've got the cover on all the way around now. Again, it looks a lot better in person, but as I pointed out to you last time, I'm still not happy because there's still some bleeding coming through. It's nowhere near as bad as it looks on this camera, because I'm looking at it both in reality and through the camera. It looks way worse on the camera. But Matt's coming back tomorrow with another length. I've already got the other length, sorry, but he's got like a splitter that's going to go behind here. So we're going to run a secondary amount of lights, and the lights are going to sit in between these. So that should just then leave it as a perfect stretch. But I'm absolutely delighted with how it looks. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a late night filming just to give you an idea of what's going on. The outside light is working. Yeah. I meant to say to you guys earlier as well, the doors are getting replaced next week. So I've got a date for that. Yeah, man. Looking fresh out here. Right, I'm currently in the Retro Gator 3.0, not that you can see me. I'm going to flick my switch. Whoop, whoop. Oh, look at that. Yeah, buddy. I'm so happy. Good night. I really wish this camera would pick this up like as good as I can see it in real life. It's annoying that it doesn't, but I mean, it's so good, guys. So good. Coming out here just to show you guys, obviously, this light working and the red room. But then I saw this. Wowzers. It's like Zeus is on his way. This time, good night. Right guys, another day. I've got Matt here again, and we're still getting these lights perfected, but I think we've come up with the perfect solution. So we did some jiggery pokery with the wiring, and Matt's managed to get both sets of LEDs going to one of the connectors, so it left us with a spare one, so we didn't have to do any soldering, even though we bought a solder iron just in case. But what we're doing is doubling them up. So as we aforementioned, rather than just running the one, which leaves gaps, so if you show us, Matt, it never really shows up that well on camera, but you can see on the camera look where that leaves gaps, whereas when they're doubled up, it's like pretty much perfect. In reality, it looks perfect on the camera, not quite as good, but yeah, it's bang on. It's just a continuous light. So we're going to double up the whole length of the room now, and yeah, we're going to be there then. Guys, it's a monumentous moment. It's been a long time coming. It's done. It is done, and it's perfection, and I could not be happier. The amount of work this man has put into getting this right is phenomenal. But yeah, it's absolutely perfect, which, you know, it had to be. Straight lines, it's like the feature of the room. I'm absolutely delighted. We just make sure. Yep, so it can go a bit brighter. So what we've done is we've left the thing there, which will be covered up a bit by paint and stuff. But yeah, that means that, and we've put it a little bit protruding so you can get to it from anywhere in the room. So you've got the right angle, so I can be down that end of the room and I'll still be able to get to it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, absolutely bang on. Delighted with it. I've really got to get a move on now, get this edited so I can get this out to you guys on a Sunday. It's been a long week, been a lot of changes. And I say a lot of it was working towards this payoff here. I might come out when it's dark tonight and give you guys like a full overview of what it looks like in the dark, but yeah, just buzzing. So it's Saturday evening, I've just watched Arsenal win. So it's about, where are we? About 8:15, 8:30. Guys, look, I'm so happy. I just wanted to film this in closing. I've got to go and edit this. As you're watching this Sunday morning, this is the night before, so yeah, I've got a lot of editing work to do, but I just keep coming in here and pressing these lights and just standing here in awe, and that's what it's all about, right? You put this level of investment into like literal blood, sweat and tears, time, effort, money, you know, you best enjoy it, and right now I'm enjoying this. I said to Matt when we set out on this venture of doing these, because I knew there'd be a lot of headaches. It's a relatively new thing, not many people are having it done yet. Matt's only done it once before, but I gave him such a challenge because of like these curved walls, and I had said to him, look, it has to be perfect. I'm not accepting anything other than perfect. That had to meet the wall perfectly, and then to get the angle right, and then it all had to be cut, and there's not one flaw, not one blemish. It's immaculate. And I'm the sort of person that would notice it. Too much has gone into this room to just have something that's okay. You know, I'm not obviously going to break down the details of all the finances on this build. Maybe in a future video we'll look at things, but yeah, these elements are not cheap, and it's very time consuming. Thankfully I've got a great relationship with Matt, who's a plasterer by trade, but he can lend his hand to everything, but it's a lot of time. If you're thinking about doing it, you're going to have to factor in your electrician or your plasterer or whomever it may be that's doing this. But yeah, for me, it's been well worth it. I'm delighted with how this looks, and you know, we're almost there. We're pretty much there, right? I'm going to start painting this week. I've got a few other things to do. I've ordered the paint for the gym floor. As you can see, we've now got an upside light, which will be nice once the graffiti's all on here. But yeah, I've ordered the paint for this floor. It's like a dark grey Arthur paint. It's coming from like a paint specialist, so it ticked all the boxes that I wanted. I did speak once upon a time about using a masonry paint, but it wouldn't work. It's not something that rain's supposed to sit on. It's more for walls than floors. I've come this far, might as well do everything right. So I'm gonna have to clean all this down again. This will all be getting painted up like a dark anthracite grey, and then out here's pretty much finished for now, apart from obviously filling in the fence bit there. But that's the kind of jobs that are left. Somewhat time consuming, but it's definitely finishing touches. The carpet's coming down soon, so yeah, I'll be painting this weekend. First, I'm going to do 2 coats of like the whitewash, the 50-50 water and paint solution. Get these lights covered. I have left the film on, look, you can see here, it's still got the film on. So once the film comes off, that's when it'll be finished. But yeah, I'm going to put masking tape over it, get all the painting done. Then I've just got to wire in the plugs, which is not wire them in, but you know, put the screws in, put the caps on, gloss, and that's really it. There's 2 or 3 days work on the whole build, and that's not just this, that's like my garden, the front of the property, everything. Probably about 3 days work left. I will be thankful for the break, but it's worth it for moments like this. So yeah, guys, thanks for your patience. As I said, I know it's been a couple of weeks since I vlogged, but I really wanted to get the full process of this lighting set up for you guys. I didn't want to leave you hanging last week. This is something that I've envisaged, and to be honest, it's better than I envisaged. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. Hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. If you do have any questions, let me know. Obviously I've discussed a lot of things. It's going to be quite a lengthy vlog. I'm not going to be able to post links to everything because I'm not going to remember, but if there's anything specific you're interested in, let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible and share links or whatever you guys might be interested in. But as always, I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. The Alzheimer's cause is still open. Thank you all so much. With the gift aid donations, we're over £1,000, which is phenomenal. But there's still time for you to make a donation. And as I say, I'm buying that Sharpie soon to write all your guys' messages on the floor. Yeah, I'm going to get that real soon, and then that'll be done, obviously, before carpet comes. But thank you all so much. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.